Alright, welcome back to The Art of Rust. I'm Ventola, and this is episode 3 where I'm going to talk about color blending. Right away though, I just wanted to show off this little piece of artwork that I did. This is for Clappin' for Cash's base here. You can see it, pretty nice little base. He really wanted a Scooby-Doo sunset between mountains. And I was like, that is weird, but you know what? Let's give it a shot. And the Scooby-Doo turned out fantastic. However, it was about 1 in the morning. The mountains I did really fast, and the sunset kind of went fast. But the Scooby-Doo looks fantastic, and I just kind of wanted to get this on video before server wipe day tomorrow. So there it is, Scooby-Doo. This is not a copy and paste like a modded server you'll see. This was all actually done within the painting interface itself. And it turned out really, really nice. And you can see there's a lot of blended color, especially with the sunset, and also on Scooby himself with the highlights on the nose, a little bit of highlighting on the tongue, and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And just for fun, we're going to ride a bear. There he is. That is a bear. And we're going to jump on his back and see how long it takes him to eat me. Ride him! Oh, God. Oh, oh. You cannot ride bears. Alright, we're back at the base. Got geared back up and ready to do some painting. So we're going to talk about shading and color layering today. And to do that, we're going to do a nighttime sunset scene, just the background, not getting into too much detail. And we're going to start with a blank canvas here that I've already got set up. And first things first, let's black out the background since we're doing a night scene. So big brushes all along here with a full opacity. Hit black and just coat the whole thing with solid black. When you're layering colors, the darkest full intensity colors will really shine through. So if you start with black for a night scene, that makes your job a lot easier going forward. Next, we're going to pick this cobalt blue down here. That's for the nighttime scenes. And then this shader highlight brush here at the very end. And keep it big. And we're going to pull that opacity all the way down. If you do the last one a lot of times on a black background, you're not going to get much result. As you can see here, I'm putting down a lot of color and not getting much of a result on the blue. So pop it up one more. And there we go. Now we've got some blue coming on here. And you just want to streak it back really fast with your mouse. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And you're going to get that streaky line look to it, and that's what you want. You want some of that black to peek through. You don't want to cover it up. If you just kept doing this until it was all cobalt blue, you're going to lose the details and the depth that's really important later on, as you see when we start doing more colors. So that's our sky. And since we're doing a sunset, we want the lower part to have a little bit more blue than the upper part. So we're going to spend a little extra time down here and do it up that way. So now you can see I got a weird sun today. So we got a lot of blue here, a little darker here. And that looks really, really nice. We can go a little step further. We could pick the dark gray, keep all the brush settings about the same, and lightly do some more on the top. Now this really isn't doing too much, as you can see, but it is darkening up that top. We can switch to black if we want a little faster result. And it doesn't look like we're doing much, but we actually are. And we're going to hit update and look at what we got so far. And that's when I accidentally shot it with a bolt action. But there's the basics of our sky. We've got the blue and the black layered on top of each other. Now, layering even more color. Now we want a sunset. So now we're going to get into building our color from the bottom up. And on a sunset, you want to start with yellow on the very bottom. Keep all the settings the same. And we're just lightly layering color. And we're just going to put a little bit of yellow here. And you'll notice here you've got some of this dark popping through. And that's what you want left over from some of that black being left there. And we want a sunset, so we're just going to circle the brush. Just click, hold, and circle, and that will give you a nice fuzzy, bright sun at the bottom there. And, so bright from the center, a little darker as you move out. And it doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be neat. You can throw some extra sunbeam layers here because we're layering the color, and that will be replaced. So next, go up to your orange and keep the settings all the same, and lightly, you hear my mouse, I'm just clicking as I kind of go through the center. I'm not clicking and holding now, I'm just clicking as I hit the center of the painting, and that'll layer some of that orange brightly over the top. There we go. So we've got some of the yellow poking through here. We've got some orange. And we're going to highlight the sun a little bit. Put a little bit extra orange on the corner away from the sun. Yeah, now we're getting some really good sunset. And you can see what's happening here is we're getting some purples. And that's the blending. We get the orange, the red of the orange is blending with that blue, cobalt blue, and making purples. And next, we're actually going to use some purple. We're going to pop the intensity way down. The bold colors like purples and reds, and the green here, if you can see on the side, this green, the purple, and the red really shine through. So we're going to bring the intensity way down for the purple, and we're just going to lightly purple up the top of our sunset here and start blending it in with the cobalt blue. You can see it mixes really, really well with the cobalt blue. And fade it through, bring it down pretty far. If you're dealing with such a low intensity, it doesn't matter. I mean, you can go right on your sun and it doesn't really show up. It's the number of times your mouse passes that really layers up. So you can do this for a long time to really blend that color. And finally, a little bit of light purple we'll pick just for this transition area. Very little bit. Highlight up here, and there, and there. So that helps with our transition. Pop a little bit more purple up in this area to accent our transition. And there. We now have, update, we now have a good start to our sunset sky background here. We can go a little bit further. Of course, we can always go a little bit further. It depends on how much time you want to take. We're going to go back to our cobalt blue, keep the intensity low, use the highlight brush, that big brush, and just go back over this a little bit with that cobalt blue. Pop up the intensity just a little bit more. And this will kind of even things out. And this will help the transition down here, and just kind of dulls some of your tones and makes your transition look a little bit more realistic. There we go. So that looks pretty good. Looks like we've got some clouds here, some low-level clouds that are reflecting some of that sunlight, and we've got our sun down here and the darkest of the night at the very top. And that's layering, the basics of layering color. Alright, thanks for stopping by and thank you for watching. If there's anything you want to learn about specifically, please leave a comment to this video or any other video. Please like so I know you're watching and liking what you're seeing. Subscribe if you want, and so I know to do more videos. And we'll talk to you next time.